So my name is Duane Alexander. I played Don Lockwood in this fantastic production of Singing in the Rain.
Yes. Where are you from?
It's from South Africa.
South Africa.
Yes, the whole company, in fact, is pretty much South Africa.
Yeah. Is there a big musical theatre scene over there?
There is.
Yes.
It's fantastic, and it's growing. It's certainly developing at a really quick rate, and we have fantastic talent in the country, which the producers have discovered, and they decide, well, that's the company then to travel and tour internationally, because it's a really wonderful opportunity. So, yeah.
Yay. Tell us
Lucky
how,
for us.
Yes. Tell us how you got into this show.
Well, like any show that you have to sort of hope to do, you have to audition. So we went through quite a vigorous audition process for the show. You have to be a triple threat performer. You have to sing, you have to act, and you have to dance. And the dancing in particular, you have to be able to do various styles. You have to be able to do the jazz, you have to be able to do some partner work, lifting the girls, and then quite specifically the tap has to be quite strong as well. So yeah, it was a vigorous couple of days routine in both Johannesburg and Cape Town, and they finally whittled it down to a cast of 27 people, I believe. And yeah, those are the people.
So were you going for the Lockwood role?
I was. You know, as a musical theatre performer who does dance and especially does tap dancing, this is kind of a role that you've always dreamed of doing. So I definitely was gunning for it. That and or Cosmo and or just being involved in the show. So I yeah, you know, when I audition for shows, I kind of you have your heart set on one thing or the other, but I like to go in there and say, this is me, this is what I do. You tell me where you think I fit best in the show, which I think is a good attitude to have, because you know every production has its own vision, its own you know casting sort of breakdown, and you know you never know what they're looking for.
Audition tip.
Yeah, audition tip. So I do. We sort of I teach an audition routine, sort of workshop, and I tell the students to kind of just go there and be the blank canvas. You know who you are as a person, know what you're good at, and maybe in the back of your mind have your heart set on, or at least have something in mind that you think you're right for. But let the director decide, let the choreographer decide. You know, like, oh, you know, you think you're this character, but actually you're in our production, you're more this character. Right. And then, you know, at the end of the day, it's a job. Yeah. So you're not going to say no sometimes. And it's a wonderful opportunity, especially when it's a beautiful touring production like this one. So yeah, that would be my advice.
The big scene, the one that you did, Singing in the Rain?
Yes.
In the rain?
In the rain. In actual rain, can you believe it?
Yeah.
Where else in the world?
Yeah. So you love it?
I do love it.
We love it too, because I always smile when I watch it.
Oh, good.
And
good,
when you're doing our smile,
did I make you smile?
Yes, you
did. I put a song in your heart?
You did, definitely.
Excellent. Good. I mean, that is the aim of that number.
Are you nervous when you do that?
Not anymore.
Not
I think
anymore?
in the beginning when I first did the role in that number, because it is, you know, it's got the sort of the pressure of doing it well,
right?
You know, because you want
it's got to be natural.
It's got to look natural. Got to look like you're not even trying, and yet to promise you with that heavy suit full of rain and the umbrella and not being able to hear the music all that well because it's loud and raining on your head. You know, it is a challenge.
Do you think about Gene Kelly when you do that number?
I think a little part of me thinks of Gene Kelly the whole way through the show.
Yeah.
And I've tried not to watch the movie since rehearsals because I don't want to emulate or mimic anything that he does. You know, I want to sort of, you know, as an artist, I want to bring my own version of Don Lockwood to the show, to this production. But it's very difficult to divorce yourself from Gene Kelly. It's difficult to think of Singing in the Rain without thinking of Gene Kelly. So, you know, he's been a huge inspiration of mine for my whole life. So I certainly, every night before I go on stage, I have like a sequence of photos that I've downloaded.
Say a prayer.
Say a prayer. Well, without sounding like a bit creepy, I do. I have a little album of Gene Kelly photos, mostly from the show, and they're on like a slideshow on my iPad, and they play through, and I just try and remember who he is and what he did, and just pay tribute to him. I mean, if I can. We're not representing him, we're representing the character, but he is, like I said, synonymous with the character. So I don't want to be him on stage, but I want to at least make people who have seen the movie kind of go like, oh, that guy was so close to Gene Kelly, or so similar, or, you know, he did a great job in, you know, bringing this character to life the way that Gene Kelly did. So, yeah, I'm not aspiring to be jaded. I mean, I aspire to be like him because he was an amazing, incredible performer, choreographer, singer, you know. So,
gymnast.
Yeah, oh my gosh, he's super, super talented, and so, of course, who wouldn't want to be like Gene Kelly? But, as long as I can sort of just represent the show and the character to the best of my ability and make the audience go like, that was an amazing, amazing production, then my job's done.
Curious to know, when you're in the rain,
Yeah.
your mics, do they get wet?
They do get wet. These are waterproof mics that I
Oh,
wear.
okay.
And I actually wear two. I wear one sort of on my forehead and
Yeah.
one a little bit further in my hairline. So if one gets affected by the water, like sometimes the water lands on the mic head
Yes.
and then starts crackling.
Yes, yes.
So then they quickly switch mics to the second mic.
Clever.
So yeah.
Wow.
So I mean that particular sequence is with a waterproof mic.
So the pack is also waterproof.
Yes, the packs are waterproof and they're cellophane for extra protection. So, and underneath 4 layers of wet clothing, they don't get particularly wet. But yeah, the whole unit is waterproof.
Okay.
And yeah, it's.
I didn't know they were waterproof ones.
And like I said, two of them, one for the
Yeah.
back.
So when you get off stage after that, is it a quick change?
Luckily, this sequence comes at the end of Act 1, so then there's intermission.
Yeah.
So once I go off over there after blowing out the lamp, and then I go off there, and then I'm
Yes.
drenched,
Yes.
absolutely drenched, like I've just fallen into the sea.
And for that scene, how many people are you aiming to get wet?
Well, we call the first 3 or 4 rows the splash zone.
Yeah.
And depending on how good the flooding is in that particular production and how close the proximity is in each venue, they either get wet or they get soaked. I think they get provided with ponchos. Like
Oh,
the
they-
ponchos are weight
okay.
elastic, so you
That's
can
good.
protect your clothing. But people really do buy those seats because they want
Oh,
to get
right.
wet. They want to be part of
Yeah.
that interactive experience. So
We had
they
a
enjoy it.
production about 10 years ago,
believe so,
and they
yes.
were really going for it.
Well, at the end of the show, we do a reprise of Singing in the
Okay.
Rain with the full
A
company.
reprise of the splash. You
On
mean?
the, it's actually just for the splashing. No, it's the full company, and we're all wearing identical costumes that are like an homage to Gene Kelly, which I think is a great way to end the show. And there is a lot of splashing in that. So again, the front couple of rows are going to get wet, and then after we've bowed, then it's just a free for all. Then it's like you better
Free-for-all.
bring your umbrella.
I'm
out
not
because-
sitting there.
No,
for
dude, it's
sure.
good fun. I promise you, those seats sell the quickest. So
Oh,
they're,
really?
They're the
Okay,
hot seats.
yeah,
They're the
okay.
hot seats.
They're,
Great.
They're real fans.
The real
They're
fans.
real
The
fans.
fans who want to be like
Yes.
not just watching the show, they want to be in the show.
Thank you very much
My
for the
pleasure.
interview.
Yeah, pleasure.
Have a good show.
Thank you very much. Enjoy.